So I got asked in my comments if I could do a breakdown of how much we spent to build this house. So I'm gonna give you a full breakdown from buying the property to actual finish of the property. And these are the numbers. So I'm gonna explain how everything works, but I'm gonna give you first off the numbers for each thing. So first was buying the lot. Buying the lot cost, so buying the lot was $380,000. That's how much they spent on buying this lot, and that's including the realtor fee, the closing costs, and everything. So the second was getting the plans done. So as you can see, we have the plans here, and these plans cost $30,000. So that was hiring the architect hires an engineer, the engineer, you have to worry about a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, the structural engineer. So all that is included in the $30,000 for these plans. Then you have to submit these plans to the city. So in this case, we hired a permit runner. The permit runner charged $8,000 to run these permits to the city. And it took about like 3 months to get the permits approved, and she would keep going back and forth with the city because they were making changes, and then she had to submit the plans back to the architect. They had to change it, then she had to go back to the city. So all that took 3 months and $8,000. Then after that, we have the building of the actual structure. So before we build the structure, we had to get a surveyor to come out here, mark the points of the property so we know the property line. And then we had the structure guy come out and start digging for the footings and doing the foundation. So the total for the shell, which is the structure, everything built, including the footings, the foundation, everything, the slab, all that cost $350,000 for the shell. And that's basically, he leaves it just with the concrete blocks, the concrete beams, and the roof, because this roof is the actual concrete deck. Sometimes they use wood, but in this case we use concrete. So that was $350,000. Then after that, we have the plumbing, electrical, and mechanical. So the electrical, they come, they do their underground, the plumbing does their underground, and the mechanical does the underground. So the electrician charged $54,000 to do all the electrical. That's the underground, the roof, once we have the partitions inside, and then finally, putting all the finished trims and lights in the house. So the owner spent about $65,000 in the drywall. That includes the framing, the installing the drywall, and the level 5 finish, because the owner wanted level 5 finish in this house. Now, the first step was to do the framing after the structure is done, and basically the mechanical, the electrical, and the plumbing, they run their roof, all their pipes, all their wires, and everything, all the ductwork that they got to run in through the framing. Then we put the drywall, and then we pass the drywall screw inspection, and then we do the finish, which particularly in this house, we wanted a level 5 finish. So that makes things a little bit more expensive. So in the outside, we did the stucco. The stucco costs about $35,000, and it's a smooth stucco. As you can see, there was no texture on this. So it's usually a little bit more expensive when you do smooth than when you do texture. Also, we added the stucco around the fence, which that was a separate cost. That was an extra $5,000. Now, after that, we did the paint for the outside, and the inside came out to be $28,000, okay? And it was separate times. So first we did the paint on the outside, then we did the paint on the inside. Also, the impact windows. For the impact windows, including installation, the owner spent about $80,000 for these windows. That's getting them manufactured, delivered, and installed. Then we have the tile. So apart from actually buying the tile, which I believe the owner spent about $16,000 for the material, and then he spent another $32,000 to actually install the tile. So $32,000 for installation, $16,000 for the material. Then we have the audio and visual. So we put the alarm system, the camera system, and the sound system. For that, the owner spent about $15,000. That's including the actual materials, the actual subwoofers, the speakers, the cameras, all that, and the wiring. So that was $15,000. Then we have the roof. The roof system is a TPO roof system, which is one of the best systems we have, and he spent $36,000 to do that roof system. The next step is the pool. So the pool, which has a spa and it has a island, he spent about $70,000 to get everything done. That's the electrical, the plumbing, and getting all the structure done for the pool. Even digging out the hole for the pool. Then we have the glass railings. So we put glass railings on all 3 balconies on the outside, and we have glass railings on the inside and along the stairs. So it's a lot of glass, and this is impact glass because it has to go for the exterior. So for the glass, all the glass included was $65,000, and that's included for the installation and the manufacturing of the glass. All right. Now we also spent money on the dumpsters. So we needed about 6 dumpsters. Each dumpster costs about $1,000. So that's $6,000 in dumpster fees. So the porta potty is about $150 a month, and we're gonna have it here probably for let's say 10 months. So that's $1,500 in the porta potty cost. The next cost was the supervisor. So having a construction supervisor is very important if you don't know what you're doing, and even if you know what you're doing, if you have multiple sites like I do, you can't be in each site all the time. So you need to have a supervisor running the job while you're not there. The supervisor, we pay him $2,000 a week, which comes out to be $8,000 a month. And if it's a 10-month job, it's about $80,000. So that's how much we spent on the supervisor here. Now, kitchen, we actually have 2 components for the kitchen. You have the actual kitchen cabinets and then the kitchen appliance. So for the kitchen cabinets, including the granite, the owner spent about $50,000. Okay, that's it for the granite and the kitchen cabinets. Now these kitchen cabinets are made in Italy. So it's a little bit of an expensive kitchen because all these cabinets are being imported from Italy. And then the appliances, which are expensive appliances, are Miele brand. So you can see it, that's also like an Italian manufacturer. And he spent about $50,000 as well on the appliances. So that adds up to a $100,000 kitchen. The next we have the doors. The owner decided to go with Italian doors. These doors are really nice, and as well, they come from Italy. All the hardware is Italian and it's hidden, so you don't see this hardware when you open the doors. So they're really nice, but they're expensive. So between installation and manufacturing of these doors and shipping costs is $30,000 because it was about 20 doors. So each door was like $1,200, something like that, including the installation. So that's $30,000 in Italian doors. Then we have the baseboards. So the baseboards that we put in this house, it was about $4,000. That's the actual baseboard and the installation cost. Then we have the driveway outside. For the driveway, the owner spent $10,000 to get the driveway, which is the one it looks like little slabs and it has the artificial grass cutting in between it. Then for the landscaping on the outside and on the inside, he spent another $20,000. That's with palm trees and things going in. He didn't get big palm trees because they were going to be more expensive. So I feel like the landscaping was a pretty good price. Now, we also have the fixtures. Fixtures like lighting fixtures, plumbing fixtures, all those type of fixtures. He spent another $20,000 to buy all those fixtures and get them installed into this job site. And then last, if you're not a GC building this job, you have to hire a GC. Basically, you would have to hire someone like me that has a license to run this whole operation. And I charge about 20 to 25% of the total job cost. So in this case, it would have been about $200,000 to get this job done for my fee only. So when you add everything up, the total is about $1.9 million. 1.929 is around there more or less when you add up everything up. So that's the total cost between buying the land and finishing the product. Now, when we got this property appraised to sell it, is appraising about $3.5 million. So you roughly are gonna make a $1.5 million return if you sell this property. And it's gonna take about, from beginning to end, I would say it takes about 10 months of construction. Now, it's not including getting the permits approved or getting the plans done, because these plans took about a month to get them made, and then you gotta wait for the city, which takes another 3 months. So all in all, you're looking at almost a year worth of plans, permits, and then the construction. But it's $1.5 million that you're gonna make in a year. It's not a bad profit. It's not a bad return. So you guys let me know. If you guys have any questions, comment below. Tell me what you want me to talk about. If you have any more questions regarding each trade, you can ask me and I'll get back to you, or I'll make another video. Take care.